welcome to the channel on the almost free to play account. This is a 30-day update on this account. I just kind of want to go over where this account is at and what the plans are for the future, and just kind of talk about the experience altogether of playing this account over the last 30 days pretty heavily. You can look up here, we're at level 49. That's a lot of playtime. And I didn't it's not just jumping on and running campaign and spending my energy. It was actually trying and putting efforts into this account. The original goal for this account was to see if I could get Arbiter in around the 30-day period. I didn't have the expectations that I could do it in like under 30 days or the under 27 or like 27 days, which I think is the record right now. It was never that I thought I could do that. I just really wanted to, challenge myself and see how fast I could do it. More is because I was intrigued, and then I shared all this. We completely ended up failing on that, and I'll just start out first I want to start out by showing you that it is on day 30. So here we go. We are on day 30. You can see that we haven't started day 31. Now we are like an hour from reset. Now if you went off of exactly when I started this account, we're to the day, to the minute, almost exactly 29 days old. So if I wanted to make this official, I would have started a timer or started it at a different time. Because I started it right before reset, and then it resets an hour later, right? So I got like 2 days worth of credit as far as unlocking the daily rewards within an hour of each other. But that's really neither here nor there for what I'm trying to, what we're talking about. But that is what with account is. So it's exactly 39 days or 20 days to 30 days old. It made it all the way up to level 49. I've been a little down on the weather the last few days. Otherwise, we would be level 50. So if you really wanted to take any perspective from what I did here, you could just know you could hit 50 in that same 30-day period if you did the same amount of sweat and hard work into the game. I would not recommend that, but you could hit level 50 pretty easily. And you can go down here. We'll go right to the original goal, which was to unlock Arbiter, and you can see that we're not like super far away, but we're far enough away that it was definitely like a hard fail, right? But a lot of these missions are already done. What ended up being the hang up for this account was doing the arena missions, which is kind of common for Arbiter anyways. But I just didn't have the time, as much time as I did have to play this game or play this account. I just didn't have the time to log on in that 15 minutes and refresh so I could find opponents that I could beat. And of course, since the account is so young, it's not like you can just power through and just, demolish all the people that you run into, right? You have to be really selective about who you're fighting and when you're fighting, what you're fighting. And I just failed at that. That's what set me behind. And then right here, when the spirit potion or the spirit keep was open, that's when I started not feeling well. And I had a bad couple of days, and I didn't even finish this. I actually forgot that I needed to, because I was sleeping and then getting up and doing some things, and I would go back to sleep because I wasn't feeling well. So this could be done, so I could be farther in this, but it wouldn't have made a huge difference. It's not like I would have actually unlocked Arbiter. I think if I had stayed on top of this before I got sick, I think I probably safely would say that I would have finished this, but I wouldn't have made it very far into the next stage of it, because pretty early on in that next stage, you have to have something up in your Great Hall up to 7, I believe is the first one you run into, and we are so far away from that wouldn't have, we would have been working on that forever. So even if I gave myself credit, this account's stuck right there. Like, that's where it's at, which is amazing progress for 30 days. I'm not disappointed in that or anything, but I definitely, the people that are doing those Arbiters in 30 days and 27 days, especially free to play, get my mad respect, because this was a grind and a failure at the same time in that respects. So that was the plan. That's what's going on. That's kind of where the account is. You can see that we had super good luck with the heroes or the champions on this account. I pulled Geomancer right off the bat. It totally set the tone for this account, because I was able to just do so much more in the dungeons that everything I did was able to really push really far into dungeons and stuff way sooner than I have been able to in the past on an account this young, which is pretty amazing. And it really made it on a bunch of dungeons where I the thinking and the having to really be precise with putting the right team together went away just with pulling the right champion right off the bat. So I do want to be honest about that the pulling Geomancer really made the progress in this account go way further than it normally would. The other thing that kind of helped was spending that $15 gave us Morag really early on too. Using the code PP500, spending the $15, we were able to grab Morag pretty early on. Which again, she's an amazing champion. She's in my top 3 favorite champions just for being my favorite. Like I just enjoy her, and she made a huge difference. Now the original heroes that we got in the code, we did start. Before I get to that, I did start with Aethel on this account. I will put down genuine arguments that Aethel is so close to being just as good as Kel as a beginning champion, and she is so much more valuable the further you push into the game and further you push into dungeons, that I would argue she's a much, much better starting hero, even depending on especially how much you're going to play. Now, if you're only going to be logging on and playing 15-20 minutes a day, Kel's probably going to be the better champion because he's going to last longer. But if you're the kind of person that's going to spend an hour or two a day, or whatever that averages out to be over a week or whatever for yourself on this game, I would argue that really quickly Aethel is going to replace Kale as far as value goes. But in that same spirit, or in that same token, to be honest, getting copies of the starter champions is relatively easy. Also, you can get them from every shard in the game, and you can usually end up with copies of them. There's no guarantees when pulling shards in this game, but at the same time, it's not like it's really hard to get the other starting champions if you just if you started with Kale and you're like a week in and you haven't 6-starred him and invested a ton of like energy and stuff into him or materials into him, just to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna switch to Aethel. But I started on Aethel. And then the beginner code that I used for this account did start with Tagore, which I pretty much feel like you have to start with Tagore or Ugo if you want the premium out of one of these beginner codes. One exception is that the new kind of code that you can use, the new beginner code you can put in, this is from the referral link. The new beginner code is Desert Queen, and I genuinely feel like Desert Queen might be better because she's a pretty amazing. I don't even remember what she's called. My old man brain's kicking in, but she's pretty powerful, and she may not replace your reviver. I don't know. She's a powerful support. Anyways, we got Tagore. We did get Mausoleum Mage, which is a cleanser, which is super valuable early on. You don't kind of have to seek that out and look for it, and didn't have to worry about that. So it makes some of the dungeons or fighting the bosses and stuff that debuff you that a lot easier to deal with. We get Fane. Fane does help out a lot. She's a pretty strong Demon Lord boss. So we got her. We used the code to grab the new or grab Madame Saris, which is an old code. I have heard that it doesn't work anymore, and then I've heard it does still work. So you'd probably just have to Google around and look at that. That was an old Boozer code that just turned out to still be working or something like that. So you might check out any videos around there and just see what's going on. I didn't make any videos on it, but she's still floating around. We did, like I said, I paid the $15. We got Rector Drath. The final champion that you get with the referral code that I used is Deacon Armstrong. Amazing champion, works way into late game. So I used a really good code. It was something that I felt like I wanted to use this code primarily because everything about it said it would help us advance through this camp or advancement. Yeah, progression. Woo, that was the word I was looking for. It would help with progression. So we grabbed him, and then we were able to grab Supreme 6. I don't know if this works anymore or not either. I think it's fixing to end at the end of this month for the second time. It's fixing to end. But I have since started an account using the Desert Queen, and I honestly think I might use the Desert Queen code instead of the Supreme 6, even though both of them are available. And then, if not, Monkey King is always available, and Monkey King is, he's always going to be useful. And then, other than that, we just had some luck. We haven't done anything really with these. We got Cornelia, right? Great for kind of doing some soloing and kind of helping you cheese, or not even really cheese, but helping you get through some of the bosses, especially in like Doom Tower and Curse City, which we haven't unlocked yet, but. And then, of course, Mordecai. Mordecai's amazing into Spider and things like that, so it's a really good boss champion. We didn't really have to build him out and put a lot of effort into him. Only being 30 days old, we just haven't had the time to do that kind of thing. But he's super useful. We just had Supreme Gallic, so we already had a solid burner, so I just didn't ever really kind of build him out. And the rest of these just kind of got leveled up through, even though they're decent or solid champions in some cases. I just didn't level them up because they got leveled up. I just didn't put a lot of work into them. They got leveled up because of champion training events. So yeah, that's just kind of where the account's at. I don't think anybody's hiding in the vault that's of importance. Yeah, we did end up polling. Oh man, yeah, words. We ended up pulling him. We didn't have to fuse him. We got him after logging in for a day. Yeah, just not a whole lot going on. Of course, she's the like 14-day reward, or maybe she's the 7-day reward and he's the 14-day reward. But these were login rewards, and then we did pull. Oh man, Relic Keeper, which was semi disappointing, right? Because you have to fuse him to get your, and he's not like the best champion. You can do some stuff with him. That's kind of where the account ended up. I guess as far as that goes, campaign, we were able to 3-star everything through Brutal. Nightmare, I just quit trying, but we can make more progress into that if we really were die hard wanting to. I just didn't. It's so energy expensive to go through Nightmare campaign. So that's where we got out on the campaign. The dungeons, most of these aren't going to be open, but we are farming level 20 on most of the spirit or the potion keeps. You can see we stopped 19 here, but when I say farming, I'm not talking good clear times with all of them. I think most of them are right there in this 2 or 3 minute. They're all in this like 3-minute time frame, but we can hit 20 in all of them if you wanted to dedicate the time, which I did. I just hit auto and knocked it out. I didn't cover it when I was looking at the champions, but we're doing a decent clear time. I actually can't see it because the camera's right in the way, but I think it's like a minute 50, 2 minutes time frame. You can see it here. I can't. Here, maybe I can. Yeah, so it's a 2-minute time frame, which isn't bad. Again, I just kind of locked it in. We haven't. I'll bounce back over here to my champions real fast. You can see we on the like main Demon Lord team, the clan boss team. We almost have all the masteries unlocked. I paid for Athels. Yeah, we've unlocked a lot of the masteries. Just not completely unlocked them all as far as that goes, but we got fairly close. That was kind of just where that is where I would just log on if I had something to do or something was going on, and I would just pour out some energy. And then the rest of the dungeons, we have Ice Golem made it to 20. It's not a quick clear time, but it is 100% clear time. So if I wanted to do dungeons or farm gear or whatever, again, not quick, but it is 100%. And Ice Golem, Spider. Now Spider, we really didn't, which is funny because I have such good Spider champions. I just stopped here at 13, and then this is where I farmed every now and then. because 10's a better place to farm, I kind of feel like, at least until you can hit 16 or 20 as far as points goes for like tournaments and stuff like that. So I just honestly kind of pushed to here and then said nah, and just went back to 10 and just farmed at 10. So that could actually probably be pushed further. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Here we are. We're stuck at 18. This is kind of the same situation. I just didn't push further. This is 100% clear. Time's really bad. Rewards are bad here. So you can see the time drops down dramatically here at stage 16 because this is where I actually was doing my farming. So we were farming stage 16 of Dragon. Again, I'm kind of chalking that up to lack of effort. That's just where I stopped on that. And then we hit 16 here. This is again, this too is 100% clear, and this is just where I farmed. I didn't push any farther. I don't know that we could, honestly. I'd like to get our hands on a Cold Heart or something like that can farm Fire Knight a little bit better. But yeah, I'd say we're stuck here. Even though I don't know that I'm stuck there, right? And then we did not do Sand Devil or Phantom Shogun. I think, yeah, we did it just like a couple of quick levels because I wanted to. I think I needed this for like a daily quest or for the weekly or it was a daily quest or something. I needed it for a little quest something, so like did some materials. So that's where everything ended up. Clan Boss. Even though we haven't done it today, I can one key easy and normal. Hard I just hit, but I screwed up my team. Is 8 million, but I was doing more like 14 million on hard before I was screwing with my team. That's the breakdown of everything we have. Okay, wait. I said that one last time. We've pushed into Doom Tower, and I don't feel like I should be, but I'm really struggling with the Dark Fae. The team to beat Dark Fae is there. I just haven't been able to find it because I hate to keep saying this, but I haven't been feeling well, so I haven't been able to just like spend the time on it. But we progressed. That's where we're at right there. We are set up to where we could beat Baumol and stuff. So if I can get past Dark Fae, I could push probably another 10, 20 levels on that for sure. I just haven't been able to. So that is where I got this account in 30 days of just no lifing this account. Now here's the big and kind of the important thing on this. I don't recommend doing this. It wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't anything. I don't think. I kind of wanted originally to see how much fun Arbiter would be if you got Arbiter like really quickly on an account, how much change it would make and stuff. And it honestly just pushing this hard on the account just ruined the fun for me. Now, I did read some comments and stuff where people were like, oh, you're ruining your progress. I definitely don't feel like it ruined progress at all, right? Because I was doing things smart, not just with the goal in mind, but with like the account in mind and making a healthy account. So I wasn't like over stressing characters or deleting gear just to get silver to do silly things. And I really only pulled shards on 2Xs. I think I pulled a couple of shards. I think I pulled a couple of ancient shards when it wasn't a 2X. But other than that, we only pulled on 2Xs. Like, we were fairly efficient on playing this game with it as a good example for, the future, to be used in the future. But it was just too much. It just was too much. So I would not suggest in any means that you put this much time and effort into a single account right off the bat. It's just too much. I know I said too much like 10 times, but it is. I genuinely don't know. I'm pretty sweaty, and I don't go get out and about too much because I'm disabled. So me sitting here playing on this game and stuff isn't a chore. It's effort. It's kind of just what I do with my life. Judge that for whatever it is. But I would not recommend doing this on an account. That said, I do have an idea for kind of a really fun series, kind of based on my experience of doing this. And I'm still on the fence. We'll know in the next day or two when I pop back up. This account's not going to go anywhere. I just don't know. At this point, this account's going to slow way down. I didn't meet the goal of getting Arbiter in 30 days, so that's just not going to happen. So now this account's probably going to go into kind of like a maintenance for fusion kind of mode, where I start trying to find out the materials that I'll need for any upcoming fusions and just make sure that I'm prepared for fusions. By pretty much ignoring these events and stuff over here that aren't specific to a fusion as it comes up in the future. That's kind of what I'm feeling like is going to end up happening to this account, but we will see in the next couple of days. I'm going to make that decision when I'm feeling better, because I don't want to make a decision when I'm feeling so poor. But that's where we were able to get this account in 30 days. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched this full rant, rambling about the status of the account, the progress of the account. But genuinely, I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate everything you do. If you made it this far, YouTube thinks you'll like one of these bloops, and thank you again.